This episode of Sessions with Stef is brought to you by our partner, Fearless Sounds. Francesca Sacerdoti, along with her amazing team, take care of every artist's needs when it comes to marketing, playlist placement, advertising, and artist management. You can follow Fearless Sounds on Instagram and Facebook, or just give them a call at 514-409-6061. Thank you, Francesca, and thank you, Fearless Sounds. And now, we present to you our latest session with Stef.
And welcome. We are back to another edition of Sessions with Stef. Guys, this is a special Sessions with Stef. This session is going to be, it's a different session. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. Because generally it's a session with Stef. Sometimes people play, sometimes they sing, sometimes I'll show a video. This one is, I'm going to call, instead of Session with Stef, it's going to be a chat with Stef. Because this, we're going way back. I have a guest here who's phenomenal. I've been playing with her forever. We're just gonna chat. We're just gonna have a talk about music, about what we've done together musically for the past 15 years.
Oh, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. But before we go into that, and I'm gonna introduce Sandra, our guest, soon officially. I gotta have a drink. Fuck. This is Sessions with Stef. Like, I know I'm gonna do it different, but I'm still gonna have the drink, right? I mean, I can't change everything. You can have limoncello, or
you want to share?
Yeah, we'll share.
Let's do it.
Okay,
I'll have the
drink.
limoncello.
Yeah, this is me.
Yeah, because what is that? The grappa?
This is grappa. I gotta finish off the bottle. And here's another victim on Sessions with Stef. And yes, we also have the non-alcoholized.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Zero,
drinking.
Which is
it's actually pretty good.
It's actually very good.
It is very good.
I loaded you up there.
Oh
You see?
boy,
You see?
that's a double shot.
Those are the type of shots Sandra used to give me when I used to go to her club back in the day, right? So
Oh, those were the days.
those were the days. We're gonna talk about.
We're
them.
having
That's
that?
amazing. Yes. Are you? You're good with that.
We're not having a shot. We're sipping it, right?
You can sip.
Not in the days when I used to work at the club.
Oh my God! Remember that?
Those were doom. We literally had half a second.
Yeah.
Boom,
And
because then you had another one waiting for you.
The lineup. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that. So, guys, welcome to Sessions with Stef. I love doing this podcast. It's a talk. It's a session. It's something about music, bands, singers, dancers, all of it. Well, not that really dancers, but we have one today. We have a singer, dancer, band leader, dance school owner, conglomerate of anything Latin, dance, singing, all of it. And I still will introduce her, but I'm just saying I love doing this podcast because I get to sit down for an hour and talk with friends and people in the business, and we just shoot the shit, and it's so much fun. And I'm so glad that you guys watch the show, subscribe. I need more subscribers because the more the merrier, right? I'd also like to say thanks, Lisa, which is the sister podcast called Let's Talk It Out with Lisa and Francesca. Francesca just left, but she's our first sponsor, which was Fearless Sounds. Mm-hmm. You can check, you saw the ad, which played right before this session started. And Lisa and Francesca have a podcast called Let's Talk It Out. It's the sister podcast to Session with Stef. So you got to subscribe to both of them. On Spotify, you got to subscribe on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and of course YouTube. Check it all out. Share it, watch it, enjoy it. I hope you all enjoy it. Leave comments, guys. If there's anyone you think I should have on the show or Let's Talk It Out or any one of the shows, give suggestions. Sometimes, I always know who to call, but whatever. I mean, sometimes it's good to see different ideas, different people. Maybe even if I don't know them, I don't mind. I totally reach out to them and say, "Hey, come on," and we'll have a chat. I met quite a few people doing this, and it's a blast. So, guys, check it out. Also, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you very much. If ever anyone else wants to sponsor, feel free, because this is what we do. It's always a lot more fun when we get sponsors, and we have a lot of them. Honestly, they keep coming, and we're so grateful. We're so thankful. But this is our regular one, Nettoyage Diamant. Fantastic, guys. Squeaky clean. I've already hired them. They clean your house. They clean your business. They do commercial cleaning.
Yeah, very good.
I'm going to need their number.
They do industrial.
Yeah.
Yes, Nettoyage Diamant. Anthony Paterno, he's such a good dude. He's the nicest guy. Great work. They come in.
Yeah.
They really take care of everything.
Yeah.
Well priced. Really good. Renovations. Anything you need. Nettoyage Diamant. His number is 514-686-1581. You give him a call. You can find him on social media at Nettoyage Diamant. They have, I think it's, it's Nettoyage Diamant, right?
That's
Diamant,
right.
like diamond?
Diamond, yeah. Diamant,
Like
exactly.
in French?
Exactly,
Diamant?
like in
Wow.
French.
Yeah.
NettoyageDiamant.com. They have a website.
Yes.
Fantastic people. He's a sponsor. He keeps sponsoring us every month. He's the greatest. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, super nice. We thank you so much, Anthony. Guys, give them a call. Get your house clean. Get your business clean.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the show. I'd like to introduce my friend. I guess we can say co-worker, but it's not work what we do. It's not fucking work.
We're just sharing the fun.
We just share the fun. I'd like to welcome Sandra Campanelli, singer, dancer, dance teacher, band leader. You do it all, man. You do it all.
I just do what I love to do.
You do it all.
I
Thank
don't know.
you for coming on to the show.
Oh,
This
I'm
is
really happy to be
great.
here. This is really good what you have. It's great, Steph.
Oh, thank you
You
so
got
much.
such a great personality, and
thank
for you to like put it live,
I love it. I
it's,
just have fun. You know what?
yeah.
This was a trial. We did one for, just to try out the podcast, and it was it was like a 1 or 2 shot deal, and then see what it is. And I was like, no, I need to do this. I love it. I guess
Yeah.
I like not shutting up. I like talking. So fuck, like, what the hell?
With the grappa.
Yeah. Plus, grab we're good. Now that I brought in the drinks into the show, it's like, what the fuck? How can I stop this?
you're opening up a little more, right?
Right?
That's it.
So Sandra does so much that we honestly had to give her 2 podcasts.
Oh, God.
And we separated it because I'm gonna plug. She's got Latin Groove Dance School. Thousands of students go through there yearly, and I'm not joking. Like literally thousands of students. It's downtown, situated on, I think it's
372 St.
372.
Catherine.
In St. Catherine. Humongous school. You can go there, take lessons any night of the week. You can sign up for a full course. You can just show up and take a lesson.
Yeah.
There's 80 courses going on a week. Is that what I
Yeah,
heard?
a little more than 80 classes, group classes a week. And then we got the private classes going on. And we got the socials, and people just come and dance. It's
That's
just
right. So on
big
top of
dance
the dance
area.
school, you can go to the Palladium, which is affiliated with the dance school, but it's like a lounge. It's a salsa lounge.
Yeah,
You go
exactly.
and dance and just chill out and have a drink and watch people dance or dance, practice. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. And then, of course, because she doesn't have enough to do, she's got pro dance shoes, which are Latin dance. Well, so they're made for dancing, but anyone can buy them because they're
Anyone,
beautiful
yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
Website, prodanceshoes.com,
Yeah.
Palladium, social media. Check it out. You can also watch the episode with Sandra Campanelli and Latin Groove on Let's Talk It Out. So all
Yeah.
of that will be discussed because this is a music session. So we're going to talk about music. We're going to get into the salsa because it is what we love.
What's better than music and
What's
and
better
dance?
than music in the end? Dance.
Music
all of
and
that.
dance, like
It brings happiness. That's why you have so many students, because it brings happiness. So
Absolutely.
we all do it. We all love it. And even if you're not a dancer or a musician or a singer, it still brings joy.
Oh,
It
you know what I
always
say?
brings joy.
We're all dancers and musicians deep down inside.
Yeah.
All of us.
Some of us show it more, but we all are.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. When someone is sad, happy, angry,
What do? You listen to music, no?
listen to music. Right? I do this all the time as I'm driving. to
What do you
work.
do in the shower?
Right? In the
Everyone
car.
sings.
In the car.
Like-
And I think I do it on purpose. Like as I'm driving in the car, when I see people into it, I just look at them and I get it, and I do their move, and they're like, oh, they're all embarrassed, but I love it because it's great, and I do it too, right? I'll blast the music and I'm fucking singing top of my lungs. It's great. Music brings us together.
Oh, it's happiness.
It's happiness. It creates communities. You can, if you love heavy metal and you know someone that loves heavy metal, all of a sudden you're talking to them and you become
Yeah.
buddies.
Exactly.
Now, Latin Groove is also a band. Sandra and the Latin Groove. It's the Latin band of Montreal. It was for years. It still is. And I've been playing with Sandra for
Oh, a long, long
is it
time.
15 years, I'd say.
Oh, God, yeah. It's
long
been a long
time.
time. Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
And I fucking love playing with her band. We actually had a show the past 3 weeks at the casino, which was a blast as usual. And of course, every time we play with Sandra and the Latin Groove, the band is always fun, and we play salsa, and I love playing it, and we play merengue and all of that stuff. But she always has the dancers. It's incorporated with the band. It's such a blast, guys. You see the band's having fun. The dancers are dancing. It's such a vibe. It's so much fun.
The dynamics that goes on stage is great.
You always have a product that looks good. You always have a product. You look at Sandra in the Latin groove, and the musicians are playing, and we sound good, whatever.
Sound great.
Great. But the front, you see, there's usually Sandra and another one, sometimes two. I've even seen 3 vocalists. Yeah. And the dancers next to them, we've had up to 4 or 6 dancers on stage at the same time, and they're all doing the same step in sync. It's fucking beautiful to watch.
And the colorful costumes and the smiling and the interaction with the clients, with the dancers.
Oh, man. Sandra's a master at the interaction.
It's fun.
Let alone singing. You sound great. Oh. You dance great. But your interaction, you're warm. The people just gravitate because you have that smile. The minute you go on stage, you're smiling
that's so sweet.
And you're talking. But it's true. It's true. That's why you've been successful. And that's why
it's what I know. It's what I've always done. I don't know anything else but singing and dancing. It's part of what I am, who I am.
How did Latin Groove start the band?
Oh God, this is actually a really funny story. So my parents, they were musicians, right?
100%, yeah.
My dad used to play pretty much any instrument. My mom used to sing, and I literally was brought up with music. That's all I know. My parents used to practice in the garage all the time. Yeah. The new songs used to come out. They used to learn them, practice. I used to go in. As a little kid, I remember doing harmonies with my dad. And my dad would, we would switch harmonies, which harmonies we would do. And sometimes my dad would teach me these really weird harmonies that not the obvious one that's always there, but that other one
fifth,
that's...
you're going into the 5th, the 7th. He sing the 7th. And
and you're like, oh. So we would do that as a little girl. And I remember my parents had an agent, which was CR Productions with Ricky Edwards. Do you remember Ricky?
I remember Ricky.
Oh, my God. My brother is named after Ricky.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My parents named my baby brother after their booking agent, Ricky Edwards, from CR Productions. But we're talking about a long time ago.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So Ricky, and he was part of our gang, right?
Yeah.
Friends. We would go to his chalet when I was a little girl, and he calls up my mom one day and he says, "Hey, I'm looking for like a full-piece Latin band. Do you know anyone?" And my mom says, "Well, my daughter has a band, and I was 18 years old or something. I was, 18 and about 10 years ago." And and then I hope you got a filter on that camera. You're saying that, but so he says, because I need the full band, the brass and this and that. And my mom says, yeah, my daughter's got that, but I didn't really have that.
This is Sandra style.
This is yeah. If anyone knows me, they know
Say yes to
I pull out a rabbit out of a hat all the time. But I mean, so my mom calls me and she says, "I know you're jamming with some Latin musicians and stuff,
Just do a show.
So Ricky Edwards calls me up. And he says, "Hey, Sandra, I heard you have a Latin band and stuff." I said, yeah, of course. And then, so I call up a few, Latinos that I know, and I'm like, "Hey, guys, you want to practice 5 songs? Let's do a little audition." Yeah. So no problem. I had, trumpet, trombone, sax, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. We got the charts made for 5 songs. Okay, no problem. Ricky Edwards comes, and then we're at my parents' Club 649. They own the Latin Club.
Which we will get into.
Yeah. So, okay, no problem. I'm auditioning. Me and another male singer, a Cuban guy we had at the time. And then the full-piece band, we're auditioning. We're playing the 5 songs that we know. And he says, "Okay, very good. Okay, bye." And he leaves, and I was like, "Oh shit!" It was like Tuesday, Wednesday, or something. Mm-hmm. He calls me back the day after, and he says, "Okay, Sandra, Friday and Saturday, you're in Quebec City. There's a gig." Now remember, we learned 5 songs. We literally learned 5 songs. So I said, hold on, which weekend? No, this weekend. And it was like, we had like 4 days or something to learn 2 sets of an hour. And we're like, how the hell do we pull off a full piece Latin band, trombone, sax, trumpet? What?
Jesus style.
There we go. That's what we did.
I fucking knew it.
Jesus. Okay, Jesus and Niño. Yeah, he was part of the band. I go, Jesus, we got a gig in Quebec City. It was a theater, okay? Friday and Saturday night, okay?
God.
But we need to fill up 2 sets of an hour. No problem,
No problem.
He takes a piece of a napkin, gives napkins to everyone in the back. This is what we're playing. Sandra, you're singing this, you're doing this, and we pulled it off. But the funniest thing, okay, now we're talking, okay, this is deep. We do the first set. Remember, they asked for a Latin band, right? So salsa, bachata, cha-cha-cha, like real
Latin music,
real Latin, hardcore Latin music. We do our first set, and the band is sounding, wow, phenomenal. Backstage, hey guys, fuck, that was good, okay? And the big boss comes in and he says, hey Sandra, the music you're playing is like folklore. And I said, no, that's Latin music. No. I don't want that kind of music. I want like Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez. And I went, but that's not really Latin music. That's pop.
That's pop.
Latin pop, right? He says, yeah, whatever. Just play that stuff. Do you have that music? I said, yeah, of course. We had a half an hour break. So then, guys, we need to do these songs. Okay, so in a half an hour break, then we had Vanessa Rodriguez.
Vanessa!
Remember Vanessa?
It was her birthday. I saw it on Facebook. Of course I remember. I still talk to her.
She's in Brazil now.
She's in Brazil now, yeah.
Vanessa, you need to write the charts. Let's go. And Vanessa, she's a beast.
Monster.
So she starts writing. Everyone's writing charts. All of us, and here we are singing La Vida Loca. And you got these Cuban musicians, that are like,
what the fuck is this?
2 notes are going, when they're used to going, right? We pulled it off.
Oh my God.
We pulled off that gig. But we were like, and the boss comes after, yeah, that's the music I want. That was great. But, our songs, since we had a half an hour to do an hour set, our songs were not 3-4 minutes. They were like 20-minute songs, with improvisations and animation with the crowd. But,
So when I said, oh, you got to pull a Jesus.
Well,
it's fucking funny because
that's what we did.
He's a genius, okay? I'm just going to preface this by saying this guy's a genius in the Latin world. He's an amazing musician. He can sing.
Absolutely.
He can play piano like a motherfucker. He can play any instrument. He plays the tres. He plays the flute and great. But he's Cuban, and in Cuban music, there's a lot of improv. Yep. And he can improv for fucking 20 minutes. He literally does 3 songs in a set. So but it's the same song because it doesn't end, but the parts are so different that they could be different songs. So it's like every 5 minutes he's going into something else. It's part of the same song, but he's doing this in his head. He's like, you're genius. On stage, and we've played with
musical
him already.
Genius.
We're on stage, and he's like, as we're playing a groove, he'll turn to the fucking Sandra and say, okay, sing this instead.
Yeah.
And so this is live, and she'll sing something, and then he'll turn to the horns and say, and they'll start playing that, and then he'll tell the percussion players, let's do more of a caballo or whatever, and the rhythm changes all of a sudden. And he's creating a song on the fly.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he'll sing something to the singers, okay? And then when we start singing, all of a sudden the harmonies, boom.
Yeah.
Just come on.
It just come on, and
and we don't understand how we're doing this. We just do it, and we look at each other, and it's just
it's crazy.
The magic that happens with Latin music on stage.
Him especially, he's got that fucking.
And every gig is different.
Yeah, 100%.
The same exact song is played differently at every single game. It's got 2 chords.
It's,
That's
it-
it.
I'm like, the first time I played, I was shitting my pants because this guy's great. I was fucking shitting him. So I'm like, Sandra, let me know what songs and he's like, songs. He just says salsa, and he'll go and he'll do a fucking tumba and he'll
C
start playing
minor.
piano.
C
He'll
minor,
play the piano. C minor, and the guy playing, and you just gotta follow him. And I'm like, fuck, my eyeballs are like this, and the song lasts 20 minutes, and I'm like,
And then he'll go, do,
Yeah.
boom, and then the whole band breaks, does it, and you're like, what the fuck?
what the fuck just happened? And it's usually 12, 13, 14 musicians, and it sounds like a truck. Like it's just bang. It's
It
so
chills
good.
you. And when you got the brass playing.
So he was part of the first.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was part of the first Sandra and the Latin
And
Groove.
Vanessa was playing as.
And Vanessa was there too.
You know, when Vanessa left to Brazil, I think we played with her. She was
Yeah.
the keyboard player with the band.
Yeah.
We were in, I don't know, Quebec maybe? I was sharing the room with her. Can't remember.
We played so many gigs, Steph.
Yeah. But I remember right before she went to Brazil, we had the room and she fucking stoned me.
Place Versailles? Was it, what's that hotel in Quebec City? Weren't we playing that big,
Was it Chicout?
or
Me
Chicoutimi
Sherbrooke?
or?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Oh,
We
we
played so
yeah.
many fucking
Yeah,
places.
right.
Big festival. And I remember we were in the room, kind of getting ready to go to the gig, and she took an hour to explain to me the samba. Every instrumentation of the samba. She's one of those, like, fuck. And that she moved to Brazil because of that. Like, because she fell in love with samba. She's just a genius musically. Like, she plays
Samba
piano
music
like a
and-
fucking monster. And she
And
decided
she's
to...
a tiny girl.
She's
She's a
super
tiny
thin.
girl, but
Yeah.
she's like when you get that keyboard and that piano in front of her, you look at her like she's
But you
7
know-
feet tall.
Because my wife went to school with her, right? That's how I knew her before. I mean, we were playing together, but and she got into the big band as a cellist, ahead of cello players.
Oh wow!
Like, she tried out for fun. She like kind of did a crash course on the cello and got in before all the cello players. Like, she's one of those.
She's
She
great.
played on the Hammond organ. She had a band and she would do the bass line just
Yeah.
with. No, she does it because she just like she kind of not gets bored, but she likes to learn. So she we lost the camera. It's okay.
It's on the right one.
Let's figure it out. So like the samba, I remember this because she had left to Brazil after just to go
And the bossa nova.
the bossa nova.
Only
Yeah,
because
she
Lisa's right all the time.
there's the memory card. Yay! So yeah, I remember staying in the hotel room and she was showing me how to play the tambourine for
Yeah.
the samba, for the Brazilian samba.
It's got this whole
And
technique.
it's a whole thing.
All the
Anyways,
perks have a different.
it's so much fun. It's so
Yeah.
much fun. It's a whole different style of music. That's
Yeah.
great. But anyways, enough about that. So that was the creation of
Sandra and the Latin Groove. And then after that, Ricky Edwards kept on calling. Okay, you got this gig, and I would tell him, but Ricky, what kind of music do they want me to play?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to relive that. And he says, Latin music. So then Latin music was Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, Gloria Estefan, and Conga. That was
the
Latin.
token Latin groove starting song.
That's
right?
it. So at the beginning, we started with that hardcore Cuban music, salsa. You know that
Yeah, but we're in
spicy.
Quebec, right? So you have to.
Well, that's it. So then after he would say, no, play the Latin music. I would say Latin music like we played the last gig. Yeah, exactly that. So then we know, it had to be the pop.
Yeah.
But the pop is so much fun. But when you got amazing musicians backing you up and you're still playing pop. And I remember sometimes we would play like a pop song, then it would turn into salsa.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, so
many
and then we were like, and then we would look at the boss, and he'd be, "What's that?" And then we had to bring it back
Bring it
down
back
to
down,
a simple
Living la
beat.
vida loca.
yeah,
And then the
and
capo
then,
starts, you know?
you know.
So right. We're on stage. We're playing. Let's say I don't know, fucking conga. Let's say, come and shake your body, baby. You know. Then all of a sudden, the percussion player, you hear that boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, and the conga player. Then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, this
And the
going.
piano is with the montuno,
The
and
trumpet player's like, and we're salsing, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, come and shake your body, baby, do the conga."
yeah, then we had to bring it back down.
Oh my god!
But we have honestly Sandra and the Latin Groove, we've been around for
You still
over
have the
30
truck?
years.
You still have the truck?
No, I sold
You
that
sold the
truck.
truck?
Actually, that truck got stolen. That truck got stolen,
God,
and then it was found.
So my picture's no longer.
Well, that's it. So I had this big caravan, remember?
Yeah.
Written Sandra and the Latin Groove with a picture, and you were in it.
Of course I was
of
in it.
all
That
the
was,
musicians and the dancers and everything, and with my telephone number.
Yeah.
So I used to get, at the time that we were allowed cell phones, I kept on getting phone calls. Hello, are you Sandra? I'm like, no, I'm the Latin Groove. Of course I'm Sandra, and just people calling me because my truck had the number.
Yeah.
And then
Famous
I
truck.
remember my truck got stolen right in front of my eyes, in front of my door.
Why would you steal one that has? It's
The
so.
big
It's such an
logo.
obvious truck.
Well, it wasn't a genius that stole
That's
it,
for sure.
obviously. But they caught the guy like minutes later, but he totaled it. It was a big car chase in Laval, and
no.
yeah. But it was,
Was my
that
face
truck.
intact when the collision happened?
Actually, it was.
It was. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you keep it?
Oh my God! Oh, that was.
Too funny.
Yeah.
So that was the creation, and then after that came a quadrillion gigs, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
we did. I mean, I wasn't there at the beginning. I did the later half, the second half of the.
I remember
the tour.
once, a few times, but this particular tour, we did, the first tour was in Quebec City. Then we went all the way to Sept-Îles. Then we crossed over. We went to Gaspésie. We did all that Côte-Nord and then Gaspé area.
Oh, yeah.
Then we went up to Chicoutimi.
We did
went.
Val d'Or.
We did Val d'Or. We did.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I remember driving 8 hours.
Oh my God.
And I remember my kids were young, so we did the
I
8 hours.
remember.
We jumped on stage, played, and drove back 8 hours.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
are hardcore.
It was.
Oh, that was a little too much.
That was a bit. I don't know why I had to get back. I had to get
The
back
Ottawa
fast.
gig is okay. Even Quebec City,
Val d'Or as well.
sometimes, 3 hours to go do the gig and come back. Because remember, it's not only doing the gig. You go there 5 hours before, sound check, set up, sound check,
still doing it.
get ready, and then do the gig.
Yeah.
And then you got to,
And you can't. Well, now it's
Drive
room.
back.
Now it's a room. Every gig has a room.
I
can't
think the
drive back.
most is 2 hours. I think I'm able to go 2 hours and come
Cornwall.
back.
Cornwall is my after that Ottawa.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I just can't not. And if we don't have a
Yeah.
room supplied, I'll take one or I'll sleep on the
Well,
road.
next week, I'm in the casino in
Oh, that's right.
Lac Lemay.
Oh, I can't make it. No.
Yeah, I know. You were supposed
it's
to be on that
tomorrow.
gig.
It's
Tomorrow. What
Yeah,
am I
it's
saying?
Tomorrow, yeah.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just finished 3 days at the three
At the
Thursdays
Montreal
at the
Casino.
Montreal Casino. A lot of fun, and
Yeah.
then Lac Lemay is having us, but I can't make it because I
you're
had
not
another
there.
gig. Ugh, sucks, but anyway.
It's okay. The great musicians are always taken.
I need a drink for that. So from Latin Groove, I mean, you've had a lot of different. You're okay if I have another
Yeah,
shot?
yeah.
Here? Okay, good. I'm gonna sip this one.
It's lemonade.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's mouthwash.
It's Italian lemonade.
So you always had a counterpart with you. Like you always had fantastic musicians next to you. You've had quite a different look of band through the years because you've been doing it for
Definitely.
many years. What's your favorite lineup? I don't want
Oh.
not people wise, but like what do you enjoy it with a guy singing, with a girl singing? Do you enjoy it with 3 horns, 5 horns, 2 horns, dancers? Like what?
So, ideally, I remember I did a gig. My ideal band was a gig I did in Hong Kong. I did the American Chamber of Commerce in Hong Kong.
Oh, sweet.
So we had a 5-piece brass.
Oh, isn't that so?
So we
amazing?
had a trombone. Hold on, what was it? We had 1 trombone. No, we had 2 trombone, a trumpet, and 2 sax. I had a baritone sax on that
One
gig.
trumpet.
Yeah, 1 trumpet, but this guy was a beast.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
So generally, it would be 2.
Well, no, so it was 2 trombones, 1 trumpet, and a baritone
And a tenor.
and a tenor.
Wow.
But that baritone, when that baritone
What a
started,
fucking sound.
oh
What
my
a
God, it was like,
sound. That
you know?
baritone and stuff. Any band, is it Canario? He's all baritone.
Oh,
Canario is
oh,
all baritone.
Canario,
It's
yeah.
so good. It's so
So
good.
we had a 5-piece brass section. We had a conguero,
Yeah.
bongo.
Uh-huh.
So we had 2
Small.
drums, piano, electric guitar, and the guy brought his acoustic guitar too for some other songs. What am I missing? I had a baby bass on that gig.
Oh, yeah. What a feel, eh? That baby, that baby bass. Oh, man, it rocks.
That with the baritone, with the
Yeah.
trombones. And I had, what do we have? Something like 6 dancers.
Sweet.
I had a male singer and myself.
Wow.
And it was a 1-night gig.
Sweet.
So they flew us into Hong Kong 3 days before in a beautiful hotel
Yeah.
along the water. All I remember seeing is like we were right on the water. I don't recall the hotel. And we stayed like 3 days. It was pretty much a 1-week thing. It took us a day to go and
Yeah,
a
of
day to
course, a
come
day to
back,
come back, yeah.
you know, for
1 gig.
1 gig.
Wow.
And if I recall, it was 2 sets of 45 minutes. It was something super easy, super simple.
Wow.
But we sounded, man,
Like a truck.
ooh, oh. And to be singing, like, I don't need to do much. When the brass starts, you just feel it on the back of your back.
It's
You know?
insane. It's
You feel it and
insane.
it just pushes you and you got no choice but to sing and dance and just it's no choice at all. You're just
Yeah.
performing because it's pushing you
They're-
to
Yeah.
beasts
Beasts. We had a.
behind you.
I had a rehearsal on Sunday. This is funny. We were holding some auditions for a guy singer. So the guy comes and we had the whole band. We had a 10-piece and we have 3 horns.
Oh,
And so this
Amazing.
band, Alex Lavoie is our trombone
Oh,
player.
wow.
Yeah, Lavoie he's our trombone player. So I'm with the guy's so funny. And
Yeah.
it's funny as I see the band, he's always dancing salsa.
Yeah.
It's too funny. So we have 3 horns and the singer comes and it's a rehearsal, right? I can tell the singer never played with horns. So he gets there and I'm like, hey, do you want to put headphones on so I can give you a mix so you can hear yourself a little better? He goes, no, I need no problem. And the horns were like 2 feet away from him.
Oh, my
The first song, his fucking hair went, oh, what the hell is that? Can I have those headphones, please? The fucking trombone player was, oh, I was like, oh,
and
shit.
the trumpet.
It's so powerful.
And you
man.
can't tell them to play lower. You
No,
can't.
that's the instrument. The
The-
instrument is
it's loud. It's a loud instrument.
to get that note to be in tune. You gotta push
Yeah.
it. If you're not pushing it, that note's not coming out. It's wrong.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's fucking powerful, man. Without a mic,
Yeah.
it's such a feel. Well, I'll tell you that my ultimate lineup was a Sandra Latin Groove gig.
Which one? Do you remember which one it was?
The Fine Arts Museum.
I remember
it was
that
the
gig.
loudest fucking gig ever. I think I got.
What was the
hearing-
lineup?
So why I like this is because we had a talk before. The regular band, we used to go with drums, timbal, and
Conga?
conga. That was the lineup. But this time I had convinced. I said, "Sa, can we get a timbal player and I'll play just drums?" And you said, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, I get to have no." We had a small perk player. I'm sorry, we added the small perk player, which made my job bongo and the campana.
Campana.
Right. So we had the 3 drums,
yeah.
timbal, conga, and the small perk because we used to be 2 to do it before, and now we were 3, and I was like, "Oh, that small perk player just made my life." Besides easier, I don't mind doing it. I love doing it, but it sounded so much more fuller.
Another dimension.
Another dimension,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And we had the three or 4 horns for that gig, and the rest of the band. Like it was
Yeah.
a couple dancers. It was
Yeah.
such a great gig, but it was loud as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a hollow room. It was an art gallery.
Yeah.
And when
Oh,
the
that was
band
a
kicked in, the people
beautiful
were like,
hall.
"Oh," it was a beautiful room. It was a very great.
Yeah.
But that was my all-time. I loved it. Having the 2 perk players. Were 3 just on the percussion side was
Yeah.
blast.
I remember when some clients say, "Well, can you only be 5 people?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, you can't play Latin music live
Yeah.
with 5 people.
It's impossible. Yeah.
You know, you need the brass section, you need the bongo, the congas, the timbal, and it's hard to play everything at the same time.
Well, that's the thing. That's
you
why
know?
it was so much of a difference for me, because with the small, there's parts that need to be there. The bell needs to be there. The other bell needs to be there.
Yeah.
So you got to bring in the case. So you have to do. You're doing everything that needs to be there, but not as well as you can do it if you're.
You don't have enough limbs,
right? And
you know.
you can't do it.
You can't. Yeah.
So the cowbell is just a cowbell, but if he's playing the cowbell alone, he makes it sound great, and he can do things with it.
Exactly.
That adds to the song. When I'm alone doing all those parts, I can't, because I need to just make sure they're there.
Exactly.
Because
Because you're keeping the rhythm as well.
You're keeping the rhythm. And
You keep the rhythm. Everyone has to.
Yeah.
They're dependent on your rhythm.
I can't stop that bell going to do a fill.
Exactly.
Whereas if he's there, I can stop, do a fill, and then go back to it.
Exactly.
And it doesn't. That song is not missing, right?
You got
so
it.
It's fun. It's so much fun. But it's so, and that's the crazy thing about salsa. Every musician is so important. If you don't have it, it's like it doesn't work.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
absolutely.
That trombone player in pop music, it's great. It adds so much more. But if he's not there,
But you don't need a trombone player in pop.
You don't need him. In salsa, it's like, what? No trombone?
Yeah.
No puedo. All right? I can't do
Yeah.
the gig. It's like, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay. Do you see in the future, do you see anything, a tour, like another, because I know life got in the way. We're busy. Would you be willing to take Latin Groove and do another tour with them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I get, and I know myself, I don't say no to anything. If anyone knows me, I always say yes to everything, and then I hang up the phone and I say, okay, now how the hell am I going to do this now? And I end up doing it. I don't know, but definitely, if someone gives me a call and says, hey, shikuts me this year, you want to go to Setzil? Do you want to go to the U.S.? Do you want to go to Vancouver? Do you want to do Hong Kong again?
Let's do it.
I would definitely not say no.
I love that. I love that. That's great.
But now I'm at a point in my life that I really do it for the pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not a question of money anymore. It's yes, we need the money. It's great, but people know, musicians know, you don't become a multimillionaire, playing in bands, like you do it because you love it.
Because you love it. Yeah.
Because the feeling is something else. You had a rough day. You're an accountant. You had a rough day. Look at the Italian bands.
Yeah.
Okay? I know so many Italian bands that amazing musicians, but they all have that 9 to 5 job. They're an accountant. They're this, they're that. And then on the weekend, they're playing.
All of a sudden, they're different persona, right?
Yeah. The moment you step on stage,
Yep.
something happens to you. You become a superstar. You become a performer. That little kid in you comes out again.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, this feels great.
so good.
This is another, that other, the other side, the alter ego, right?
Yeah.
The other side of you comes out yeah.
I love it.
Let's do it. Do you have a gig?
Do it. You know what? Let's make a gig.
Definitely.
Let's put together a fucking salsa band congress. I don't know, man. Like a fucking something, man. I love it. I could do it all day long. I really
definitely.
I look forward to those gigs. I love all the gigs I do. I mean, I play in a lot of bands.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much fun because of the power behind it. I really enjoy it. I take the time to think of, okay, my setup's going to be like this. I'm going to play it this way, and I'm going to do that. I really enjoy it. I fully fucking enjoy it.
But salsa is another type of music. I'll tell you why. Salsa doesn't have a downbeat. It's not like pop or merengue or bachata even.
Yeah.
That goes boom, 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 boom. There's none of that going on. It's all there's all kinds of stuff going on. And like my students, they tell me, but what instrument do you listen to when you got to figure out what the beat of salsa is? And it's like, there's not one specific instrument that does
Sometimes
a downbeat.
The campanas on the downbeat, but it's not in the whole song.
but not all the time.
No, because
in the chorus, we'll
exactly.
go ding,
It's-
ding, ding,
right?
ding.
Yeah, 100%.
And then after they say, but then it's gone. What do I do now? What's the beat?
yeah.
You know?
And you know, it's funny. I had a rehearsal, the same rehearsal, and we did a salsa song. And it's, you know, the guys, the musicians I play with are fantastic. But it's a pop band. Like pop, we do pop, rock and roll, all that shit. And the band is great. But they just don't know, because salsa is a different beast.
Yeah.
So we did
different
a song.
animal
We did an
altogether.
animal, and
Yeah.
I play keyboards in that band. And so we had to do, we played Mi Vida, Mi Vida. And so the drummer is like, he's playing the rhythm. And I'm like, I can't. No, it was like, I said, I don't.
You're
mean
not
to
on
be.
the clave.
And by the way, this guy,
What's
yeah,
the clave?
he is an amazing musician. He's really good. Like he's, McGill graduate. The guy can play jazz like a motherfucker. He can play anything like a motherfucker. But if you don't study Latin music, it's just not
something different.
It's something completely different. So he's
It's
playing.
like jazz.
It's like jazz, yeah.
Like Latin, you're pushing the music, you're
Jazz,
pushing the beat.
you're
Jazz,
behind
you're
it.
kind of
Yeah,
behind
you're
it,
behind the beat.
right?
So I look and I said, hey, dude, I don't mean to, I didn't want to tell. I said, you can't play that rhythm. He's like, oh, why? I listened. And they're not doing that. So I want to try and do it. I said, there's no trying and doing in Latin music.
Yeah.
If you catch someone who wants to dance a salsa, they're not dancing to that rhythm because it's not the same rhythm.
Yeah.
And it's important.
And you feel it. When you're dancing salsa and the
feel
beat
it,
is not
right?
there, you can't dance.
Right?
It's
And
like
it's
having someone clap on that offbeat.
On the offbeat,
and you're like,
lost.
oh.
Yeah, what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on?
and
right?
you can't play. You got to stand up and say, stop clapping. you know?
So I said, listen, I'll give you like a quick, for drumming, you can just do this and that'll make the rhythm feel. And even the bass player, he's playing on the downbeat.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't kind of play there. You can play, but once in a while, like I'm trying to tell
Yeah.
him the rules in a crash course and it doesn't work. You don't play it for now. And then eventually, if you listen to a couple of songs, you can play it, but once in a while, because it's weird, right? They do don't go, and they're never on the beat.
Yeah.
It's off. But once in a while, you can. And it's
You
and
just got to feel it.
And sometimes don't really play that, but do it differently. But then it's like weird. But
Exactly.
you need to listen to the music, and you need to understand what every instrument is doing.
Absolutely.
Because it's so syncopated that if one's off, the whole song is off. Right?
I remember
That
playing cruzado, playing
That
with
word.
a bunch of Cubans,
Yeah.
and you got that one odd person that's playing off, and all the Cubans will turn around and go, "Ay, ¿qué pasó?
Cruzado, ¿qué pasó? Cruzado,"
You know,
right?
and they're going on, and the guy's like, but I'm playing what's on the chart.
No.
And no, you're playing what's on the chart, but the feel is different.
That's right. It's
a different.
like she said, the
Rhythm.
downbeat 1, 2, 3, 4 is what we all know in regular music and jazz and everything. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. In salsa, it's clave, right? And everything gets syncopated around this rhythm.
Da, 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 da.
But
Yeah.
this rhythm is not played in the actual. Well, or some songs it is. Like there's always an exception, but it's generally
But
not
it's based
played.
on that.
It's based
rhythm.
on this rhythm, but it's a silent rhythm. So
And the
someone who
bass
plays around there. It's got
da-
to be on the right
yeah.
time of
Yeah.
that. The conga, every single instrument has to play in that rhythm.
And you got the 2, 3.
And 3,
da,
2,
da,
yeah.
da,
Da,
da, da,
da, or the
or
Da,
da, da, da, da, or the 3, 2.
Da, da, da. And there's variations to it. But the minute the clave is put, then everyone has to be syncopated to that. And if
that.
you don't know it,
But it's not played. So that rhythm is in your head.
it's got to be, So no, a
It's in
Cuban
the back of
or
your
any
head.
Latino will look at it, cruzado, meaning you're crossed. You're doing it inverted.
Yeah,
And like,
inverted.
but I don't fucking hear it. It's like
Yeah.
hard. It's you got to listen to a lot of shit to learn. Anyway,
We've played with amazing musicians.
Yeah.
Okay? I remember one particular gig, our trumpet player, something had happened with our trumpet player. He couldn't come. And we got a top of the line jazz player.
Jocelyn.
No,
No,
just saying, he's a
Jocelyn,
beast.
'cause
He's a beast.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay? But this, I'm not going to mention who it is.
Yeah.
Okay? And he comes in, and he's top.
guy. Yeah. Top.
We give him the charts, and he was playing laid back. And the whole band is, and
like,
so the song
bro.
is slowing down
Yeah.
because he's so laid back that the song, the BPMs are going down because he's not pushing it.
Not pushing it.
You know, and the back faster. And he's like, but I'm playing, you know? And then after the first set, we had to tell him, look, buddy, like,
You
it's
can't-
not jazz. You got to be up front,
Yeah.
you know? Then after
You
he
have to
adjusted.
push the beat. Yeah, and it's complete. And I fucking did what you just said. I said it to the singer the other day, and I said it. And I'm not insulting you. I said I'm just telling you what you learned.
Yeah.
She's a jazz singer. She can sing everything, but she studied jazz. I said, what you learned in jazz,
Nothing to
gone.
do. Yeah.
Just
Latin
think
music, nothing to do.
opposite. So you're dictating. You're ahead of the beat.
Yeah.
Minorly.
Think
in jazz,
Latino.
You're minorly behind it. And if it's-
Latino style. Think of
Yeah.
it. You're pushing, you know, you're up front.
aggressive on it.
Yeah.
And if you're not, fucking musicians are gonna tell you like,
It becomes bossa nova.
yeah, right. It's true.
You
It's
know?
true, and it's very important. It's very, very important. But it's just something. It's music that needs to be listened to, and I won't say studied, but studied. Like you gotta know it, and it's hard because when you walk into a band with Latinos.
It's intimidating. It could be
is, 'cause
intimidating.
They didn't have to study it because it's in their fucking blood. They shit it out because they're born with it. They hear it.
Yeah.
It's just there. We have to learn. I had to learn it. And it's
and
like
the culture of it too.
right.
And
It is
yeah.
their culture. That's what they
Yeah.
do. This is what they are. So they ooze it.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I remember when I was younger, I'd play a song. I would do tests. I would test myself. What's the clave? And then I would call
Yeah.
Kiko and say, hey Kiko, ¿quién es la clave aquí? You know, and he'd be like, oh, dos, tres. Yes, I got it right. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you know?
Yeah.
Until it got to finally, it took years, but now, okay, now I hear the rhythm without it.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear it, right? I would try and associate, where's the clave in the song? Now, finally, years later, I'm like, okay, no, I know where it is now. I know
Yeah.
how it is. This is a 2-3, no problem, you know? But
Yeah.
it takes time to get there. And it's, anyway.
But the feel, once you get in that sweet spot,
So sweet.
it's intense. It's like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
it's I don't know, can I say this? But it's like an orgasm on stage. You know,
It is,
am I
yeah,
allowed
you
to
could-
say that?
I'm drinking to that. So we have a couple things left to do. The first thing I want to say is I just got to give a shout out to Sandra because we go back many years. And Sandra used to be the bartender. Well, owned 649.
No, my
Bank.
parents owned it.
Your
Yeah.
parents owned it, but you were there. She was behind bar numero uno over there in the back, and we used to walk in, and this was the place you would go.
Yeah,
And
it was the Latin club
The
in
Latin
Montreal
club in Montreal by far.
for
And-
30 some years.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I used to
Definitely.
walk. I never paid an entrance fee because of Sandra. It was,
Did we have
this
an entrance fee?
Did you? I think it was $5.
Not many people
I know,
paid
it
it.
was
you
such-
know?
it was just like
I know
regular-
Sandra, and I know.
Yeah, that's right. So we would go, and I would just go, and at that point I was gigging, but I knew Sandra, so every gig I wanted to go out. At the end of the gig, it was like, how much time do we have to get to 6:49?
Last call.
Last call. What time's last call? And I would walk in, and we have so many memories of just us walking. We have an hour, Sal, let's go. And she would line up the
I
drinks.
kind of forgot. Like
I think you
after you came in, I totally forgot those nights.
I think you started serving grappa because of us.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I have to give a shout
Good
out
old
'cause
days.
They were the good old days. The Yuri Buenaventura concert. I'll never forget. It's etched
You
in
know,
my
we
mind.
organized the Yuri Buenaventura concert in 5 days.
No.
5 days. They came in for another gig, but they weren't selling tickets, and they didn't have the publicity they wanted, and they went to Montreal's Latin Club, which
Yeah.
was then our club, the
649,
649. And I said I made up a nice deal with them, a nice sweet deal, and literally 5 days we sold all the tickets, and there was a lineup
Yeah, I remember.
all the way down,
Luckily,
turned
I got
the
in
corner.
right away.
Yeah, I think I brought you in by the back, by the
Totally,
alley or
she
something.
Totally brought me in by the back.
Yeah.
And Gerardo was there. I'll never forget that night. It's etched in my brain. Remember Jerry?
Oh,
He's in
yeah.
Houston.
He's
He was
doing
there.
good.
He's doing
He's
very
doing
well. Yeah,
good,
he's
yeah.
doing very well. So
Good old days.
good old days.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have another fucking drink because it's my podcast. It's game time.
Ooh.
It's game time.
Ooh. What kind of game do you want to play?
I'm gonna have another drink. We do a game called First Thought. Same idea.
Okay.
First thought is basically I'm going to ask you certain things. Some are easy, some are hard. And it's the first thought that comes to your mind. The first thing that pops into your mind.
You should have told me that before the limoncello.
I think you should have another one. It gets better and
It's
better.
like the rapid response.
Yeah, same idea.
Okay.
But, you know, I start off like favorite food.
Sushi.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. But it's hardcore sushi. It's sashimi. It's just
okay.
sliced raw fish. Yeah, definitely.
Wow, good stuff. Okay.
absolutely.
Favorite movie?
Sound of Music.
Ooh, nice.
Sound
She's
of
going
Music.
back into the art of movies.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Brings me back to a little girl.
Okay, cool. Favorite
Yeah.
TV show? Now I'm going to get you thinking.
Seinfeld.
Hey.
Fucking A,
Yeah.
it's mine.
Seinfeld.
I love it. Cool. Okay. Now we're going to start getting into it. What's the favorite? Because this is going to be good. You're a musician and you've probably seen a million shows. What's your favorite live show that you've seen?
Oh, by far, Michael Jackson.
Oh, you saw Michael.
Yeah. What was it? The Victory Tour.
Which was
and
bad after bad, no?
No, what was the first one? No. Oh, I remember sleeping outside as a little girl to get those
To get the
tickets.
Oh my god.
And
did
it was
that
at the Montreal Forum.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so I remember, and my parents had the club then, and I was, 13 or something, I don't remember, something like that, with another friend of mine. And we brought sleeping bags, and remember those days? And my parents dropped me off, okay, when they said, and we got great tickets. We weren't on the floor. We were like, on a balcony, but we had great tickets. I think I slept out there for like 3 days or something at like 13 years old.
I did that
Like,
too.
yeah,
I'll never,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
in my brain. I slept to watch Gloria Estefan.
Yeah,
I slept outside with my friend Patrick, sleeping bags.
yeah.
I'll never forget that.
yeah,
Like I fucking slept. I can't believe. Like I say it now.
Nowadays,
It's like, what the
nowadays you're in the middle of watching something and you buy your ticket
Yeah.
online.
I don't go to
like
McDonald's if there's 2 cars in front of me. 'Cause I'm not gonna
Exactly.
wait. Fucking, what? 3-minute wait? Get the fuck out of here, man.
The kids nowadays, they have it easy.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Where my kids go to school, the elementary school. So it's kind of like a private school, but it's not one of those schools. There's not many around, so
Okay.
you have to write an exam to get in.
Oh, nice.
But they don't charge you like a private school, so it's publicly funded. Anyway, it's a great
Nice.
school, but the elementary, because of this, it's first come first serve. So literally, parents in fucking 2023 are still, when it's registration time for kindergarten, because once you get them in a kindergarten, they can do all their elementary school there,
Just to get them in
just
the
to get
first
them
year.
in. So they're literally still fucking sleeping outside.
Oh my god.
It's in the news every year. It's like, oh, pay a real bail that they're sleeping outside. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
what the fuck? How did they not
Nowadays?
come out? How did
I
they not-
understand our time, like.
But now it's like,
but
how
now
on
it's-
earth is this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to first thought. So now I'm gonna go a little Latin on you. What's the first thought when I say Celia Cruz?
Azúcar.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
How about
she's
the
one.
best.
Oh,
She's the best. You wanna
Pioneer.
see- Pioneer. Guys, Celia
Pioneer.
Cruz, just check her out. The wildest woman you'll ever see.
oh yeah.
A woman that
Strong.
I think at 75 years old,
Sabor.
she came out with La Negra Tiene Tumbao. She must have been 75.
Oh yeah.
The fucking hippest song in the world.
Yeah.
Old lady, fucking
Ah,
vibing, so
yeah.
hip, like
Absolutely.
crazy. She oozed style.
Absolutely.
She oozed it. Okay. First thought when I say Mark Anthony.
Ah.
My English is not very good
sensual.
looking.
Sensual.
Yeah. Fucking singer. He's a great singer.
I love him. I met him quite a few years ago in Miami, in South Beach once, with Jennifer Lopez. He's a tiny guy.
Yeah, he's a little fucking pipsqueak.
He's a
guy.
tiny, tiny guy. We're talking many, many years ago,
Yeah.
And I was just like, and he walked right by me and I said,
Mark.
I love you. And he looked at me and he walked away. And I felt I could have said anything in this whole world. And I'm like, I love you.
Well, that's
You know?
probably the-
And I felt so stupid for the rest of my life. I'm like, I had that moment with him. And he went, oh, okay. And he
Okay.
walked away.
Yeah, it was probably the 922nd that day that he got. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? The guy who was here, Mario, So he works for Godin Guitar. He's I don't know, high up in Godin Guitars. He was backstage because the guitar player of Mark Anthony plays a Godin guitar.
Oh, wow.
So he was with
Oh,
him
and
backstage. He was with
great.
Mark Anthony, like just vibing.
Did he
chilling.
know who Mark Anthony was?
Yeah. Of course, because of his client. Well, he's really good friends with Mark Anthony, and he's like, "Oh, if you want to meet him, just let me know. Next time he comes, we'll go." I'm like, I was almost crying. I'm like, Barry, I want to be your best friend.
What?
Yeah.
Stefano, get closer.
Let's have another drink. And I will. Why not? We're here. Do you want another one?
No.
No, you
I'm
should.
good.
So, I'll never forget when this is funny. Sandra hires, like, I play for Sandra's band, and at one point I was like, I can't remember. We were doing a gig, and I was gonna have a drink or two before the show. And she's like, Stefano, I have Latinos in the band. You're the guy I look to not to drink before the show. I know, but I got it. I can handle myself on alcohol.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I hired you for not that reason.
Yeah, exactly. You're the least likely to do
You're
that.
supposed to be sober. What the fuck? I'm like, oh no, don't worry. I got this. I got it. Don't worry. We're gonna be good.
While that Havana 7 years is polished off in 15 minutes.
'Cause
And the big bottle.
Latinos were notorious. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
literally, not all Latinos, of course, but
Yeah.
a lot of musicians would come in with the fucking flask in their jacket, right? Just to make if they didn't have a drink, well, that bottle of rum was
Oh,
there.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get into I got some other questions. If I have to ask you, best singer of all time.
Best singer of all time.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
according
a
to
tough
Sandra.
one. I really love Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Because it's for me, a singer is not only vocals, it's the whole package. You know, like I grew up listening to Michael Jackson, and he had so much soul, and he told the story with his voice,
Yeah.
with his dancing, with his expressions. Oh, I loved him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to ask that's best salsero of all time.
Oh. Best salsero. You know, I could say Oscar de Leon.
Yes.
Oscar de Leon. Oh, do I have to pick only one?
That's why I love this game. No, give me another one. I could do this all day.
El Canario.
Yes.
El Canario. El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico.
See-
They were a few.
Yeah.
But Mark Anthony,
course.
wow. Yeah.
Of course. El Canario, you know what the beauty about him is? He's fucking Dominican.
He is.
That's the beauty. And he delivers salsa so beautifully. Right? They're not supposed to. He's supposed to be a merenguero.
No.
He's supposed
Yeah,
to be a
but no.
bachatero. But no,
Oh.
he does salsa.
I got one. Frankie Ruiz.
Ooh.
So, growing up, I used to go to New York City a lot with, I was, on my 16th birthday, my dad says, Sandra, what do you want for your birthday? I said, Dad, I want to go to New York.
Uh-huh.
So, I went with my dad. We took a bus, a Greyhound bus. We went to New York.
Wow.
And we were going to Latin clubs. And so I was 16. My dad was bringing me in, So it was like my sugar daddy or something, right? And I saw Frankie Ruiz singing so many times in New York. This guy could improvise. There would be a woman with a red dress. He'd be singing about that red dress for 20 minutes,
Love
you
it.
know?
I fucking love it.
But then the band would stop and he would start talking. No one would, there would be the Copacabana, 500 people, not one person talking, because he was so mesmerizing when he would talk that, people would listen to him. Frankie Ruiz was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, but there's so many.
I know.
But
We can
Oh,
can
yeah.
have another
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
just on
Just-
that. Let's start the Latin podcast.
Let's
Let's talk
go.
about Latin music. I love it, man. There is a lot. Like, I can go.
Yeah.
Oscar de Leon is something special. The guy
Oscar
sings,
de Leon.
plays bass, dances.
oh yeah, I met him a few times.
You
He's
did? Ah.
he's great. He's
That's, That's
his voice is an instrument.
It is. It is.
It's an incredible instrument. Yeah.
And you like, oh, speaking of instrument, when we're talking about El Canario, why he's called El Canario, it's not
Yeah.
his name, but we call him El Canario because he sings like a canary. Like he sings and he sings well, and then he does
he
a
whistles.
solo. He whistles like a canary.
He whistles.
And he does the whole fucking solo, and you're like, what
Amazing.
the fuck?
I don't know when he breathes.
Yeah, yeah, he's great.
He's absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. So usually I have two segments. Here I'm not gonna ask you the segment. I have a segment called the Francesca segment because she came up with a question. It was put together your all-time favorite band. But I think this is gonna be it's. I think I'd rather go with another segment that I do just because the all-time band usually goes into the rock and the Eddie Van Halen's. Now we're on the salsa vibe, so I'm not breaking that.
Latino vibe.
The Latino vibe. But what I want to do is I want to do a segment that I used to always do just to finish off the show. It's called Worst Gig Ever. So can you come up with something? And it doesn't have to. It could
For
be
Sandra and the Latin
funny.
group?
Well, for you that you were on. Like
I've got so many.
I know. See, that's why I love it.
So many.
I love it.
So many stories. I remember one story. We had a gig in Quebec City, and so our pickup spot was a spot downtown because a lot of musicians live downtown. So I had then Sandra and the Latin Groove van, you know. So I would pick them up, and I had a trailer that I would hitch on it to put all the instruments and everything, and then I would put the band in the van, right? And so we get there, and remember they're mostly Latinos, okay? So pick up at 11 a.m., let's say.
Time is very loose. Let's just put it that way.
Yes. So I'm there at 11, okay? And it takes an hour. Oh, yeah, Sarah, how you doing, huh? An hour. And I'm like, guys, we got to get on the road. Let's go. Yeah, okay. And put everything. And then I look at the piano player and I say, where's your piano? Oh, I don't have a piano. And I said, so what the hell are you going to play? He's like, Sandra, remember your friend that has the piano? Do you think we could call her to see if she can lend us the piano? So what ended up happening?
This is like
He had a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend, and they got into a fight. And his keyboard was at her house, and she didn't want to let him in anymore.
Oh my God.
So then what happened? I'm like, but you could have called me. You could have told me, Sandra, I don't have a piano. Do you think maybe we could, So then so here I am calling everyone, all the musicians I know, hey, your keyboard, can you lend it to me? So a half an hour later, I found someone who went to pick up the keyboard. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. I never heard that one before.
Yeah. But hold on, this gig doesn't end. So then we got to the gig and the same piano player, okay? We get to the gig. The gig went amazingly. Everything's good. The day after, we were like, okay, brunch at this time downstairs because we had those brunch coupons that the gig gave us for the hotel, whatever. So all the musicians are there, and I'm like, where's the piano player? And they're like, and the guy that was sleeping in the same room with him is like, he never came back. We're like, but we're leaving in an hour. What the hell? He shows up literally 2 minutes before we had to get, and here we are and then we had barely no one had cell phones then. We're talking over 20 years ago, right? And he shows up with the same clothes, and then we all used to dress the same shirts and whatever, okay? And his shirt was all like this, okay? And he had hickeys all over his neck.
Oh my God.
And he had what do you call those?
A gold tooth?
No, a cold sore.
A cold sore.
He had
Oh
a
my
cold sore just go like this, right?
Oh my God.
And so what the hell? He's like, can I eat quickly? I'm like, what the hell? So yeah.
He was quite the special
He
one.
was,
That's fucking fun.
that
There's
was-
a million guys. We should do a podcast just of these stories.
Yeah.
They are Latinos are amazing, but they're loose with time. It's fucking and they walk in an hour
Like
late,
nothing happened.
as if, and if you're mad, they're like, relax, chill, bro, everything's good. You're like, dude, you're an hour fucking late. The show starts in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Bro, no problem. As if nothing.
But then they do the gig. Amazing.
yeah, they play that. They're
But then they
talented.
perform.
They perform.
So you're like, okay.
do I hire him? I know he's gonna be late, but do I? Yeah, I
You
know,
gotta
I know,
pop
but-
2 Tylenols before, you know.
Exactly.
You gotta, get massages. You gotta, because
We had one.
yeah.
I'm not mentioning names. It was the Sandra and Latin Groove gig, and he didn't show up. But not that like he just didn't show up. We
Yeah,
were
yeah,
on
yeah.
the phone with
Yeah,
him an
I'm
hour
coming.
before. I'm on
coming.
my way.
I'm on my way. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then the time is ticking. I'm 2 minutes away. Okay. And then just like nothing. And then are you here? Like what's happened? Nah, I'm too busy at work. Sorry? Showtime's in like 3 minutes. And I have to say this.
No, showtime was in 45 minutes.
It was in 45 minutes. Showtime.
Yeah.
So they missed, this
Oh, yeah.
person missed sound check and everything. Sound checks in 40. Showtime
Yeah, but
is
I'm gonna
40
be there. I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna be
Still
there.
playing
don't
that
worry.
game.
Then mad at us. Like then I remember I'm sitting next to Sandra and she's like, but we have to start playing. He's like, oh, my job is more important and all of this, like it was her fault. And she's like, okay, thanks, don't worry about it. And then check, this is the fucking funniest story. So
I don't know how we pull the stuff
we
off.
called a friend of mine,
I don't know how we do what we do.
and she went to a cocktail,
bar.
a cocktail. I'm like, get in a fucking Uber and just get here. She's like, but I'm dressed in jeans and I can't go big corporate job, big stage. She's like, I'm dressed in jeans. Just get your ass here right now. She literally got there
3 minutes before the
3
gig.
minutes before showtime in jeans.
I had a dress.
Fucking Sandra has a dress and shoe extra.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, put this on.
I'm
fits
holding
like
it.
a fucking glove.
I'm holding it. She jumps in. Vroom, zoom. Put these shoes on. Let's go.
But-
what songs am I singing? I'm like,
Don't
don't worry
worry
about
about
it.
it.
Just get on stage.
We jump on stage and do the show flawless.
And the client's like, oh, your singer arrived. Good, good. Yeah, no
everything
problem.
was good.
It was cool.
I just can't get over the fact that she had a fucking dress that fit this girl perfect. The
And
shoes
makeup.
fit perfect. Makeup, the whole
She's
thing.
walking to the stage, and here I am putting makeup on her, and let's go. And she's like, what am I doing? Just get on stage.
Just get on stage, do it. Oh my God, it was. Anyways,
Oh.
we have a lot of stories on that. That's for sure.
But you know what? I got to say, that's because we're pros.
yeah, we can.
We're
pull it off.
able to pull it off.
Yeah, that's true. We fucking pulled it off.
We
I'll never
pulled off.
forget.
I'm telling
The
you,
smile
we
comes
pulled off anything like rabbits out of a hat, where we never even knew there was a rabbit. You know?
And that's the thing, is the stress level right before that 3 minutes felt like 5 hours. The fucking stress. She was going, I was stressed. She was stressed. It's like, hey, the fucking.
But we were able to change that stress into adrenaline.
Yeah.
And we performed.
Walked on stage. All of a sudden, you see Sandra smile. Yeah, I'm like, 30 seconds ago, I saw the devil. She was ready to kill someone. Rightly so.
Yeah.
And then we just go in professional. Walk in. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
But that's how the show must go on.
The show must go on.
And
it's so
literally,
true.
and I know there's probably lots of musicians and singers listening to this podcast. You know how it is. You're sick. Someone died. All kinds of stuff. The world is falling apart. The moment you put your feet on stage, something happens that you become that performer.
Yeah.
That other side of you turns on.
Oh, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago when I called you the day of the gig and you're like, oh my God, I'm a call. I'm like, oh fuck, we're dead tonight, right? She walked on stage.
Well, it was a little less than that, but I mean, like,
But you know what? You noticed that.
nobody knew.
Nobody noticed. Nobody fucking noticed. It's
Yeah, the
crazy.
doctor gave me all kinds of prednisone and all kinds
Yeah,
of
yeah.
stuff.
They're
but,
fucking shoving stuff everywhere.
we're not going to mention that. We need to be paid by the pharmaceuticals.
Exactly.
Get that sponsor.
It works. Guys, Sandra, thank you so much.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Where we can find you on social media under
Sandra and the Latin
Campanelli,
Groove.
Sandra and the Latin Groove.
Yeah.
Check out the band, check out the dance school, check out all. She's got everything Latin music and not Latin music, because we can do any style of music with Latin Groove.
Absolutely.
Guys, check out. She's got videos everywhere. Fantastic. Thank you so much for doing the show.
Well, thanks for having this. This is a great idea.
so much fun. It's so much. I could talk about all. I could make this a 4-hour show.
I know you can.
Like that. And Lisa's looking at me saying the fucking time passed 20 minutes ago.
No, you know why? Because he's like, we can't go over an hour.
I know.
Just be sure that you're careful not to.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Every
Okay,
week.
Steph. And
Every
meanwhile, I'm
week.
going, yeah. He's giving me the crap.
Every week before we start, I say we got to keep the time constraint an hour because it like the work editing wise is whatever time I go over, it's triple that amount of time.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
but
So
whatever.
you got to choose what to delete.
So I say no. We need to.
Are
do
we
it.
on time?
No, we're way past.
Yeah. But I get it every week.
She's been telling me.
And I keep telling him, yeah, but you're the person who keeps jammering on and on.
Well, special edition.
It's a special edition Latin groove, and I could do another 3 of them right now. But anyways, once again, thank you so much for coming.
Oh,
It's
thanks
always
for
a
having me.
pleasure. You will be back on the show, guaranteed. We will be back on stage.
This is
Come
fun.
I might do a Sandra and the Latin Groove live. That would
Let's
be,
do it.
Before and after we do a gig, I'll take footage before, interview all the guys.
Oh, yeah.
all the
Let's do
musicians,
it.
Take footage of the show. We'll
Yeah.
do that. That's guaranteed.
Let's do it.
Lisa, thank you. Let's
You're
talk it
welcome.
out. Sessions with Stef, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube, all of that shit. Subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This session is just about done, and actually, it is done. So we are now out. Thank you so much.